WeatherScope.
Well, we have some rain showers across areas of the southeast. That's with a low moving up the coast. We'll be looking at some wind for tomorrow, and actually we're looking at some thunderstorms for this evening too. Good evening to you. I'm Rich Johnson.
Yes, we are. Good evening. Yes, along the Florida Panhandle we saw some, west central Georgia. Good evening. A low developing now off the east coast will bring rain to the Carolinas and the mid-Atlantic region, and will eventually do a combination job with the low that's over the Tennessee Valley now, and that spells weather trouble. The rainmaker that's putting a damper on the southeast is going to join forces. High winds, as Rich was talking about, rain. The rain started coming down around 6 o'clock this morning in Atlanta. About a half an inch of rain fell in some areas, making for slick roadways. It also made for a rough morning commute. Several accidents and slowdowns reported. The rain has moved out this afternoon, but the cloudy skies will remain. Temperatures on the cool side, topping out only at about 50 degrees. And if you stepped outside at all this afternoon in Atlanta, you know how raw it was with those winds coming in from the north. Right now, the thunderstorm action that Rich was talking about have been occurring in the west central part of Georgia, Taylor County. You've seen some rough weather, and also along the Gulf Coast for a time this afternoon. Special marine advisories had to be issued between Destin and Fort Morgan, Alabama, and Destin, Florida, because some choppy waters and very strong winds and just plain old heavy rainfall. You can see what's causing it, this area of low pressure, and it's this front that's creating the lift. And there's a look at the wet weather just scooping all the way around that counterclockwise flow. We'll begin with our journey. There's the thunderstorms we were just talking about, along with the heavy rain getting into the capital of Florida, Tallahassee. And that's some pretty heavy rain coming down right now, affecting I-10 motorists. And as we take a look at that cyclonic circulation, it's quite impressive. But this at the surface will be losing momentum, while upstairs the upper level of the low, which often gives strength to the surface features, that's going to say, hey, I'm going to give my energy to the one off of the mid-Atlantic coast. That's what it's going to do. This will wind down, but wind down it did not in Nashville today. It's been raining just about all afternoon, and it's been a messy drive for you going from Hermitage to downtown Nashville, from Bellevue to downtown Nashville, and Hendersonville. It's been sloppy too, just north of Nashville, where not a few country music stars live, just north of Nashville. You can see right there some messy weather in Cincinnati. And there's the surface features. Look at the isobars. That indicates the winds, that cyclonic flow coming across the Ohio Valley. And this is that low that's going to be strengthening. It's right here. It's really just to the south of this warm front. There's the unstable air coming up. New York City, wet and windy, not only tomorrow but Saturday. Boston, wet and windy, not only tomorrow but Saturday. And that includes you in the Washington, D.C. area. Look at that coming in right now. We've already seen some strong winds off the ocean. Those winds are going to be gusty out of the northeast, 15, 20, 30, 40 miles per hour at times. This is going into the first half of the weekend. And there's the wet weather. Let's focus in on the greater Washington, D.C. area. You can see it coming in from this way, east to west. Looks like Salisbury getting wet, and much of the shoreline of Maryland on up, just about knocking on Baltimore's door now. 52 in Washington, 48 in Boston, 53 in New York, and it's 46 in Chicago town, 50 in Little Rock. Westward we go. You can check out the temperatures here and check out Rich with the West.
Thank you, Bob. Here's the west, and we have a cold front coming on in with a low right up across Puget Sound. The rain a little bit heavier earlier today into Oregon as well as Washington. Heaviest of the showers now, Northern California as well as Southern Oregon. We do have actually a very nice day today. Temperatures quite mild, quite a few 50s and 60s out there. Temperatures starting to drop off some. It is sort of hot though around Phoenix, 86 degrees, and cooling off a little bit around LA in the Southland. Coolest location right now, Spokane at 46, Williston also 38 degrees. Here's the western satellite picture. We do have plume of moisture coming up across western Mexico, some high clouds into southern Arizona as well as New Mexico and West Texas. Heaviest of the weather coming in, meaning the heaviest showers, rain showers coming into Oregon and Northern California. Even a few showers now just south of San Francisco. After this first front passes by, we have a break in the weather right here. Then if you look off the coast, we have bit of another weather system. Some of this energy where these clouds are being steered a little bit off to the north, but we believe this is also coming on in. Sometimes when the jet stream has a little bit of split, goes different directions, so to speak. Into California, here's the rain, and the rain all the way up towards Sexton Summit where it's in the 40s, so some chilly rain, course into the highest mountain peaks that's fallen the snow, but in most cases, if you're traveling, you will not see snow on the roadways. Up across I-80, rain if you're heading Reno down to San Francisco. A few showers still down toward Monterey Bay. Most of the rain presently is now east of the Bay Area. Heaviest of the showers continue to be toward Mount Shasta. With the latest on our forecast and what's going on with the low in the southeast, here's Bob.
Okay, we've got it right here. Rich, thank you very much. There's the low that we were just speaking about, and it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a windy one and a wet one. So I-95 motorists, if you've got those plans tomorrow morning, and it's going to affect a very populous area, Washington, D.C., getting up into New York and Boston. This is not a good companion for flow just slapping the rain back into Washington and Baltimore tomorrow morning. And you can see this front making its way toward the east, and that continues to move in. Big temperature changer here. We're talking about temperatures plunging as this front drops southward along with some snowfall. You had some record-breaking highs here at times. You had above normal temperatures out west. Well, this is going to knock us down to size here in the temperature department as it goes down toward the south. And then there's that wet weather maker getting into New York City. In fact, you could see it before then, but the heavy rainfall in the afternoon, and there's the accompanying snows. The nation's heartland looking good. You in Kansas City looking fine, but there's that wet weather. The punch is just going to be pretty strong around this low, and it's going to slap that rain, push it all the way back to Nashville again tomorrow afternoon. There's a look at some significant amounts right there getting into the Appalachians, and also some wet weather across Oregon. And how about temperatures tonight? Well, only the staunchest of Boy Scouts will be able to take a camping trip up here. Lows Friday as Rich gives us a chuckle. Did you used to be a Boy Scout?
Sorry, no, I just thought that was funny.
Just thought that was funny. Okay, there you go, right there. And then we've got the sleeping bag weather or heater weather across the western Great Lakes. You can see the 50s in Memphis and the 60s as we get along the Gulf Coast, with the 50s, or the 40s, let me say, all the way down into the Appalachians, wedging down into the northern Georgia mountains. So it's going to be a chilly one for highs Friday, already raw in the greater Atlanta area, but Southern California keeps on keeping on with the 80s.
And coming up next, Bob, we'll be taking a look at the highways again, checking out some of the radars out there on TravelWise.